He was destined for leadership. Born in Esure, Ijebu-Imushin, he had his primary education at St. Peter Claver's Catholic School, Esure, from where he proceeded to King's College, Lagos, on full scholarship in 1945. According to Scholar, the world is a book, and those who do not travel only read one page.
I first met Oba Kamoru Sansi in January 1946, when we both reported with 23 other boys to be enrolled in Class 1 in King's College, Lagos. It happened also that two of us were placed in the same house, at Johnson's house, and we became immediately friends and developed into very good lifelong friends. You know, we went through King's College, did the Cambridge School Certificate examination. We then continued as the pioneer higher school certificate class in the country. He earlier on had got a scholarship.
In October 1955, he enrolled at the Royal Dick School of Veterinary Studies, University of Edinburgh. He graduated in July 1961 with a Bachelor of Veterinary Medicine and Surgery. He was at the same time admitted to the membership of the Royal College of Veterinary Surgeons. In 1966, he obtained a Master of Science degree in Veterinary Pathology at Cornell University, Ithaca, New York, USA. In August 1968, he returned home, started in Ibadan as the principal of the Animal Health School, Moore Plantation, and then the Assistant Chief Veterinary Officer at the Secretariat, Agodi, Ibadan. Later, Deputy Director of Veterinary Research, FDVR, VOM, Benue Plateau State.
I've met Oba Dr. Sansi when I was director in VOM. He came visiting, and before then we had heard so much about Dr. Sansi when he was director in VOM. And when he came visiting, it took him no time in getting close to all the staff. While I was director then, I wondered, how did he remember everybody's name? And he just went on, oh, how are you? And went on telling different stories about different persons or personalities that he came across who were staff in VOM. Well, as the director then, I took him round and he was quite impressed and encouraged me and told me what problems he had when he was director and how I should go about it. He gave me a lot of useful advice. When I was in VOM, he was a motivator. He would call on staff at any point in time and tell them, hey, why are you not bettering yourself? What stage are you at? He went to the point of even trying to get staff fixed in different schools for their masters, and those of them who wanted to go further to actually attend to take up those responsibilities. He was that. And there was something quite unique about him. You never come to gossip. That's what we were told before Oba. If you start talking about another person, he will press the bell and call the other person and say, okay, repeat what you said. So with that, it kept the institute going in a calm way. And actually, he gave me that advice. He said, Lami, if you want to succeed, don't listen to anybody. When they come to tell you, call the other person. If they're telling you about another person, call him or her to come over so that you can sort those issues. Because if you listen to one party, to the detriment of it's actually of the whole establishment, because you may not know whether they're telling you the truth, they're speaking from, or they have some bone of contention with others, or some malice that could be coming up, and that will lead you astray.
He proceeded on further in-service training in 1972 and obtained the Doctor of Philosophy degree, PhD, of Cornell University in June 1974. Though of many nations, we will not forget that we are all brothers with a common debt. Let us pay by giving as we forge ahead, service to the living, honor to our dead.
That is a quote from the school song of King's College, Lagos. And so there we were, bonding together as brothers and sisters, and living true to that school song, that though of many nations, we must not forget that we all are brothers with a common debt. And let us pay by giving service to the living, honor to the dead.
Thank you, Pa Asiodu. Some of his achievements are President, Nigerian Union of Students, Edinburgh, 1960 to 61. Chairman, Committee of Presidents of Overseas Students Association, Edinburgh University, 1960 to 61. President, Nigerian Veterinary Association, 1969 to 1971. Member of the Governing Council of the Nigerian Institute of Medical Laboratory Technology, 1974 to 1979. Chairman of the Visitation Committee of the Veterinary Council of Nigeria to the Veterinary Faculties of Nigerian Universities, 1974 to 1975. External Examiner in Veterinary Pathology, Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria, 1975 to 1977. Part-time lecturer in the Department of Veterinary Public Health and Preventive Medicine, University of Ibadan, 1976 to 1987. President of the Veterinary Council of Nigeria, 1984 to 1989. Member of Rotary Club Jos, 1977 to 1979. Chairman, Ijebu-Imushin Planning Body, 1984 to 1986. President, Oyo State Branch of the Nigerian Veterinary Medical Association, 1984 to 1986. Consultant in animal health and vaccines production in the preparation of the World Bank Federal Government Second Livestock Development Project, SLDP, for Nigeria, 1983 to 1984. Conferred the Honorary Award for Distinguished Service by the Nigerian Veterinary Medical Association, November 1989. Elected a Foundation Fellow of the College of Veterinary Surgeons of Nigeria, FCVSN, 1998. Member of the Governing Board, College of Veterinary Surgeons, Nigeria. Life member of the Board of Trustees of the Nigerian Veterinary Medical Association. Royal Father of the Profession, conferred on him by the Nigerian Veterinary Medical Association, Ogun State, in September 2008. The President of the Association of Crowned Obas of Ijebuland. He has many publications in scientific journals.
But I've known him in two ways. One was as a King's College old boy, and he was a very distinguished old boy. If you look at his records, he passed into King's College with full scholarship. If you passed to King's College with full scholarship, in those days it means you were amongst the top three. And he has been a very, very constant, very dedicated member of the Old Boys Association. And in particular, I was president of the Old Boys Association, and some years ago, he gave me so much support Because it's one thing to be president is for you to be able to attract the good people to be part of it.
He was a very cerebral, loyal, and a man with intellectual capacity, an icon among his group. He's someone that sticks to his belief. He's a disciplinarian, and he's somebody I always enjoy talking to. He's a great an achiever and an icon, a ruler loved and adored by his people, friends and colleagues. Kabesi was a man of dignity and candor, with a deep sense of humor. To me, he's a mentor to many generations that live by example, an embodiment of discipline, which is known for within the community and is among his peers. He's full of trust and integrity. Kabesi was a fine, balanced, traditional man with modern and progressive insight into culture and tradition. He reflects in his life, even his dressing, despite that he's a learned man of a professorial status. He kept the tradition. He explained the tradition with passion and encouraged the younger ones to see the good in our system and to use this as a platform for greater things in life.
To me personally, as a wife in the family, Kabesi was a father to me. Since I got married to Otumba Abiodun Onuga, who I will call his first son, over 35 years ago, he had taken me as a daughter. He had always given me advice, making sure that my marriage was okay. And I thank God today, my marriage is okay, I'm happy, peaceful, and then we thank God for the children the Lord had given to us. But to me, he was a father that loved his children, a father that can be relied upon. He was very humble, very soft-spoken, and upon all, he was an embodiment of love. I remembered I had gone to him severally, and I will always come out smiling, because Kabesi will give you words that will soothe you, and you will go home smiling. At a point in my marriage, Kabesi called me, and that he wanted to give my husband a chieftaincy title, and that he will also give me one, that I should name what type 2 he should give me. And I said, he said I should go and think about it. I was just laughing. And then by the time I came back, I told him I would prefer Yeyewe. And then he said it was done. And that was how I became the Yeyewe of Eshure in December 1995.
He was a nice person, great professional, and he was a very kind Oba, and he was an epitome of Ijebu royalty.
Obelu, Etumora, Amorowo, ọmọ onímọ̀ṣin, ànákòru, ọ̀run rí ẹ o. Ńgbà tán fẹ́ mú fún ọba, gbogbo èèyàn sọ pé ọba tó kàwé tó yẹn ó ń lọ jobelu, kí ló fẹ́ fi ṣe? Ẹni tó kàwé pé tó gba PhD kó gba nǹkan, ó gba Ọlọ́run ti kọ́ pé ó máa jọba yẹn ni.
In January 1985, Oba Kamoru Adekunle Olaolorun Sansi ascended the throne of his forefathers and was crowned Obelu of Esure, Ijebu-Imushin.
Oba Sansi was a very versatile and active veterinary doctor. He came into the traditional rulership with very strong determination and full commitment to uplift the progress and the development of his town, Ishure, which he did very excellently. As a matter of fact, he was instrumental to the building of a very beautiful central mosque for his people, which religiously told the hard fact that Obelu was a very religious, committed Oba. Coming to the traditional rulership, he was a member of the Ijebu Traditional Council, and he played his part excellently well, particularly at the statutory meetings. I wish to recall with wholesome nostalgia that he served on so many committees, particularly the creation of coronet Obas in Ijebu land. Oba Obelu was very amiable, very strict when it comes to that, but notwithstanding, he was a lover of everybody. And Oba Obelu, when you look at it, the totality of him was that he consummated his life. He accomplished his feat. And finally, he was called to come and rest in the bosom of God.
I got to know Oba Obelu ever before I became Akida of Ikija, because he was very close to my predecessor. In fact, he was an adopted child of my predecessor. He was so close. We used to call him my father, my father. So when my predecessor died, I came on board. We became close as well. And I also made him my father. So we became very close, very close. Like Baba Ojale has always said, I mean, His Royal Majesty Oba Dr. Sikiru Adetono, Paramola of Debuland, that if you make a small man or a big man head of a place that is small, you will make sure the place is big or becomes big. Oba Bello has a PhD during his lifetime. He was, I would say, on top of his career when he became the Kabiyesi of Ishure. And he promoted the community seriously, like Kabiyesi Dagori has said. He never relented. He was a man of courage, very courageous indeed. He was a religious man. Every year he celebrated his Thanksgiving service at St. Patrick's Catholic Church, Ishure. He never missed it. He was a Muslim, yet he was going to that church to do the harvest, yearly harvest, his family harvest. He will contribute money, he will do this. He will call people, all his chiefs will go with him to the same church. Incident, when he was dying, he wrote his will, he gave money to the church. I know about that. To show you how religious he was. Gave to his old school, Ishure. Gave money to his old schools, King's College. That's Obelu. He was a very wealthy person. You will never know that he's wealthy or he was wealthy. But he gave out all that he had to people that they should benefit from. He was very religious, very kind. The last time I saw the account of Ishure, the community account, I saw 8 million. He helped them to raise. I was very close to him. He didn't hide anything from me. I saw the bank account of the community, 8 million. So many big communities around here don't have it. We don't have it. My community, we don't have it. Ishuri community had 8 million in the account as at the time the man was dying. That shows to you how close I was to him. He really was my father. I was very close to him. He did well to me. He did well to his people, and they all loved him.
I got to know him when I came to the Ijebu Traditional Council through our great paramount ruler, about Dr. Sikiru Kayode Adetono, the president and paramount ruler of Ijebu land. In his palace. And the first day I met him, Baba ushered him and said, Saddam Hussein. And at the end of the meeting, I asked Baba, Baba in Saddam Hussein. Only I got to know him better. And as time goes on, I knew him and I adore him, and as an erudite doctor. I got to know that he's a veterinary doctor and the man of principle. That's what I buy from him. It is somebody, he doesn't talk. Then he was not talking anyhow. When we were in council meeting, after a lot of contribution here and there, was saying that Saddam Hussein, what's your view? And he will strike the point and the truth, and he will stand on his point, and he will defend that point. It may not go along with majority thinking, but then that's Baba Opelu for you. Our last meeting before his departure was a remarkable one. He contributed a lot. And he was so quiet that day, I remember vividly. In his usual way, he was just smiling, and we were asking to come and sit in a place. He said, no, let me remain here. And all of a sudden, next morning we heard that Baba has gone. May his soul rest in perfect peace.
Baba happens to be a complete gentleman, a Kabiyesi that respects himself. And most especially when we are holding our statutory meeting, I do call him editor, because if you are a writer, if you are a secretary, writing a minute, when it comes to present it, if you omit comma or full stop or whatever, Baba will point it out when they are. So I love him for that. We thank God for the good life he has spent, and may God forgive his sin, and may his soul rest in peace.
As a royal father, his conduct radiated quiet dignity, politeness, and accessibility to all, philanthropy and contentment.
Kabiyesi Obelu Sansi means different things to so many people. But personally, for me, he was my father, my mentor, and he was also my confidant. There is nothing I did that I don't inform him. In his about 35 years as the monarch of Ishuri, he served us selflessly, with humility, and also courageously. He was also very loyal to the institution of Obership, which he belongs, and well respected amongst his peers. I can tell you that the legacy he left behind will never be forgotten. He was a loving father to his children, and to all his people. Baba, we miss you. Ishuru people miss you. Ijebu people miss you. And the good work that you have done will never be forgotten. May you continue to rest in perfect peace.
Kabiyesi, in his lifetime, was a man of purpose, very gentle, and of course, as a professional, he brought to the Obaship tradition a lot of innovation in his kingdom. Kabiyesi was a very devout Muslim, but he was a liberal Muslim. He never antagonized any other faiths. I remember many years ago, after my father's passing on, that is the late Chief Emmanuel Okusanyo Okunawo, the Babashua, and Lutu Messi of Ijebu. He was extremely supportive of us, and he visited many times to offer his condolences. Kabiyesi will be sorely missed, yes, by his family, the people of Ishure, and indeed the generality of young people in Ijebu land. Very astute, was very, very astute. He was always resplendent in his unique wrapper. He never wore, I never saw him with a pair of trousers before, never. He was always in his traditional wrapper as an Oba. He was also very supportive of us, or particularly myself, when I became the Babegbe of the Babakeye Akilejebu, Okunrin Akilejebu. He attended all the ceremonies and always was very generous. I personally will miss him.
My father and the Obelu of Ishure, we missed him so much. It's like the man was not going to die because of the rapport he has with everybody, both the family members, the community members, everybody. Because whatever problem you bring to him, he has a listening ear. He listens. He never takes a decision, even at the Traditional Ruling Council, of which I'm a member, and the Council of Otumbas. He will listen and allow everybody to make his point before he will now round up and maybe summarize what you've said. In my communities, you'll be surprised that even when people have problem with power supply, Kabiyesi will go to the distribution center for them to come and restore electricity supply in a community. Are you talking of women that he has paid to roof their house? Even when we are at meetings, Kabiyesi never took a decision by himself. You see, he listens to everybody. Even when sometimes we don't have fun to even do some things that people come for, Kabiyesi will, from his own purse, pay for people. He listens to them. Sometimes I will be wondering why this man takes so much to takes people like that, the way he takes people. So nobody can be like each other. Nobody can be like each other. If not, before he died, nobody we even think that Obelu won't die. I think that's some of the way some of us took this life. Because we never asked him some pertinent questions. There's a big gap, a very, very big gap to be filled since his death that we are struggling to cope with. Because it never occurs to us that this man was going to leave us. He will visit you. You'll be surprised that a king visits you. A king goes on an errand. He will say, are you around? What is happening? He's a good listener. And every human being, all of us that are his family, his friends, his children, direct children, the community at large, the man is an epitome of excellence.
Bó ṣe ń tọ́jú ẹbí ló ń tọ́jú aládùúgbò, ẹni tó mọ̀ àtẹni tí ò mọ̀, kò sẹ́ni tí kú ẹ̀ ò dùn. ká gbà pé àsìkò Ọlọ́run ni. Ó jẹ́ ẹni tó gba ẹ̀sìn Islam. Ó lọ sí Mẹ́kà lẹ́ẹ̀mejì. Gbogbo àwọn alásàlátù lọ́jọ́ ń kiri ni. Kò ń fi àwọn alásàlátù yẹn sílẹ̀ léṣùré. Wọ́n jọ ń lọ ni. Ẹ̀sìn mẹ́ta ni ò 3 in 1 ló ń ṣe. Bó ṣe ṣe tí ẹ̀ nìyẹn. Ó ń ṣe mùsùlùmí. Tó bá di ọdún mùsùlùmí, ó máa ṣe ni. Ó máa lọ sí mosque, ó máa lọ sí yídì. Tó bá kan ti àwọn kìrìsìtẹ́nì, ó máa lọ ṣọ́ọ̀ṣì. Tó bá tásìkò tàwọn ẹlẹ́sìn ìbílẹ̀ yẹn, gbogbo nǹkan tán bá nídìí ló máa fún wọn. Gbogbo nǹkan tó ṣe sílùú Èṣùré, Ọlọ́run má jò bàjẹ́ o. Àwọn tó máa bọ́ síbẹ̀ táwọn èèyàn náà tún ṣe ju bóun náà ṣe lọ.
Oba Sansi married the former Miss Damian Taiwo Ige of blessed memory, and they are blessed with children.
Oh, Daddy Kabiesi, I remember you so well. You were always to me a father and a friend, not just a father-in-law. I remember all the great times we used to have together. We used to share with me about how you grew up in Ishure, got the scholarship, went to King's College. You even used to attend my grandfather's mosque in Lagos, and how you went to Edinburgh, and then from there, Cornell University, and then you finally became Kabiesi, giving back to your community. I can never forget you, Daddy. All the great lessons I learned from you in the times of our sharing together. I thank God for your life. It was very painful to me when you passed away, because I was the last person to see you. I was praying for you in the spirit throughout that fateful afternoon. So I rest in the fact that I know that you're with the Lord. I also remember the times we had together practically every summer for several years. You were always happy when you were with us, your children and your grandchildren. We love you so much. We're going to miss you, but we know we will see you again to part no more.
Grandpa, we are so grateful for the heritage that you left with us. You are such a man of humility, of love, of wisdom, and these are the things that we remember. You took the time to invest in a relationship with us. You took the time to get to know us and for us to get to know you. You taught us about so many things, especially our cultural heritage. And we are so honored to be your descendants and to have that imprint that you have left in the sands of time on our hearts. And one of the things that I'm so grateful for is that you got to meet your grandson and you gave him the name Adekunle, which we are so joyful about. We love you, Grandpa.
Kabiesi, Grandpa, like I would call him, was a selfless man. I so much adore his intellect. He has vast understanding in sports, in politics, in religion. You could hold any sort of conversation with Kabiesi. And the other thing about Kabiesi that I do enjoy is his sense of humor. When you're around Kabiesi, he would always make you laugh. Yeah. He knows something about everything. And therefore, you can hold a very good conversation with Kabiesi. I remember the summer of 2014 when my wife took me to his palace in Ishure. He told me the Ijebu Kingdom's history that my parents had not even told me before. And when I have memories of things like that, that makes me miss him a lot. We love you so much, Kabiesi, and we thank you so much for Joshua, our son, that you've named after yourself, Adekunle. These are things that when we look back at, it gives us resounding memories. Rest in peace, Kabiesi.
Thank you, Grandpa, for coming all the way to my birthday and playing peekaboo with me.
Grandpa, you were always such a wonderful force in our family, a great patriarch, brought all of us together, and I just have so many fond memories of spending time with you in Ijebu and in Ibadan growing up. You trying to help me get over my fear of animals, explaining to me that since you are such a great vet doctor, you couldn't have a grandchild that was afraid of animals. Always so loving, so kind, so thoughtful, so prayerful. And I won't ever forget the day when my husband my parents had to tell my husband and have him tell me because they knew how I would react. And it was really sad to hear that you were gone. But I'm so grateful that you got to meet your first great-grandchild. You got to spend so much time with her. And I'm so glad that you were able to hear of your 2 great-grandsons, Johan Olubi and Joshua Luasonjo. And your legacy lives on in them, lives on in us. We love you so much, and you will always be in our hearts. And we promise to continue to do you proud and continue to keep the family legacy strong and solid.
And Grandpa, when I first met you and became a part of this family, you really set the standard in terms of what it meant to be welcoming. And I'm so grateful, and I have, from day one, have felt like I'm a part of this family. And I know that that's in large part due to the example that you set. And we think about you all the time, and we know that your legacy lives on. We love you.
Grandpa, I'm really thankful for your life. I'm thankful for the life that you lived. I must admit, this past year without you has been very difficult. I'm grateful that I got to see you a few days before you passed, and we spent a lot of time. I'm grateful for the last few months of your life. I came back to Nigeria after I graduated from my master's program. And in that period, I came so many times to Ijebu, and just me and you, we would have long conversations, talk about everything about life. And you always encouraged me to strive for better, to do well. And you always made me know that I've achieved so much and I still have so much more to achieve. You always believed in me, always believed the best in me. And honestly, Grandpa, you're one of my biggest motivators. I'm really sad that you're not going to be here for a lot of memories. It's very hard for me to talk about you, but I miss you so much. And I want you to know that I will carry your legacy on forever. I will make you proud. Yeah, I love you, Grandpa. Thank you so much for everything.
My grandfather, he was a role model to me. There's a lot of things I learned from him, and I appreciate that I was able to spend all the time I did with him and learn a lot. He taught me conduct becoming of a prince and how to carry myself as a prince and behavior, and built confidence in me. Whenever I felt down, he would say to me, you are a prince. A prince is not allowed to show his emotions in public. A prince must control things. Grandpa taught me how to relate with people depending on their social circle, age, or class. Grandpa could sit with old people and hold a good conversation. He could sit with me and my friends and hold an absolutely good conversation. All my friends would be like, your granddad is so cool. I remember once we were in the airport, one of my friends came to pick me up and he just made us laugh for like an hour, sat there and just spoke to him. I miss you very much, Grandpa. I thank you for everything you've done, for always being there from every birthday to every graduation to every result day. Even when difficult things happened, you would always call, pray with us, make sure everything is okay, everything was going well. I miss you very, very much. The last year without you has been difficult. There have been times I picked up my phone to speak to you, but obviously I remember that you're gone. I miss you coming down on Wednesdays. Just miss the relationship, you know. It's very difficult to have a grandfather that is a friend, and I think that's what we had in you. We could trust you. I trusted you with everything. We'll talk about everything, and you always just had the right thing to say as to how to guide me in going forward, and I appreciate you for that. I love and miss you very much, and just pray that your soul continues to rest in perfect peace.
I just want to celebrate the life of my daddy because he's a loving father, a caring father who dedicates all his time for his children. He loved his children so dearly. I remember when I was in Queen's Hall, he would come and park in front of Queen's Hall, and all my friends were saying, your daddy's there, just to make sure that we're okay. In everything, just make sure that we're okay. He will call me and say, okay, are you sure you're okay? I said, yes. Even he will bring my pocket money. He will not say that he's an hubber. He will not send it to anyone. He will just bring it and park in front of Queen's Hall. Then I will go and meet him, and he will just, are you okay? I said, I'm fine, okay. And I remember even when I went to Oru to do my teaching practice, and when I fall sick and they took me home, If you see the way my daddy asked his driver to drive to the hospital, he was there, he stayed and make sure I was okay. And when I went back home, he would come and meet me and say, oh, have you had breakfast? Have you had this? Are you sure you're okay? Are you sure you're this? And when I was going back, he said, are you sure you're okay to go back? Or do you want to be going from home? I said, okay, Daddy, I'm okay. Then he said, okay, if you're fine. Then he took me back and make sure that I'm all right. So he has been a loving father. Daddy, continue to rest in perfect peace, because you are a loving father. You are a great father. You are an icon to your generation. You made impact to people's life. Even people that you don't know, when they come to you for help, you help them. We appreciate you as a father. We appreciate you as a grandfather. We appreciate you as great-grandfather. Thank you so much, and continue to rest in perfect peace.
Wordsworth Longfellow once said, lives of great men all remind us we can make a life sublime, and departing, leave behind us footprints on the sands of time. Daddy, my precious daddy, my dependable daddy, my loving daddy, my great daddy, my friend. Adjectives fail me to express how I really feel on the inside of me. The pain is still so acute, it's still so fresh. Nothing could prepare me for what happened to you the day I heard you died. The years I spent as your daughter was not long enough. Your 86 years on earth was just too short. But I'm so thankful. We spent quality time together. Most of the time during summer, we were always together. We went to Barbados together. We went to California together. We shared great times of the first year of your great-grandchild. You taught me integrity. You taught me accountability. You taught me how to be a great woman of my own words. And your legacies will forever live on. Above all, Daddy, you taught me how to look back and give back to community. That has become an ethos of my life. And it's been a great quote of mine. Living is giving and giving is living. And I toast today Olubi and Sarah Johnson Foundation to the legacies of your footprints on the sands of time. I love you, Daddy. Your Olu.
We remember today a fine gentleman, the ethos of hard, painstaking work, honesty and transparency, integrity and patriotic public-spirited service. Oba Kamoru Sansi will for long be lovingly remembered. May he serve as a role model for our youth. Adieu, Oba Kamoru Adekunle Olaolorun Sansi.